Hello and welcome back. Oh, hello Repair. Nice to see you. Right, so we're back in my world. While you've been away, I have been reassigning some trains. So there's now more trains consuming these ore patches. This one's still running fine. The sister patch down here had a similar setup with ore going left and right and 12 outputs. It had depleted enough that half the carriages were not getting supplies of ore, so I rebuilt this site. It now only has 6 lanes, so I put those through a splitter, pushed them into 6 carriages. It's a bit overkill, but it gets the job done. And what on earth is going on here? Yeah, it's not quite full. So it appears that these are filling up as the train is in the station. So anyway, the reason for this was that these were down to red lights, which tells us that we're nearly out of supplies. And because they were down to red lights, we did not have a full belt of steel coming through. Because we didn't have a full belt of steel, we did not have a constant supply of solar panels. Because we didn't have a full constant supply of solar panels, these build jobs were really lagging. Anyway, that's all working again. Last episode we sorted out some train line issues. So this train line used to continue across. It now goes down and joins into this junction, which takes us into the 4-lane backbone. This 4-lane backbone crosses over this rail, and this rail is part of our legacy track that deals with supplying our starter base. This 4-lane track then continues all the way along across this recently trimmed solar field, and then we lose visibility for a bit, and then we eventually join in to the perimeter wall. So the iron ore trains, which are coming in from up here, where are they? All the way. It's a big base now. Let's carry on. Yeah, these iron ore trains. So this is an 8-loader. It's not the best way to do an 8-loader, but as you can see, throughput isn't an issue currently. So these trains come all the way down that track, and then they join the 4-lane highway and go along the 4-lane highway. So they are no longer going through all the rail for maintaining the legacy base. So we really are starting to aggressively segregate the legacy rail network from the new one. So things which are mining out this area, the trains come in through this double track, down over that crossing, then over here, and then down into the base. And again, we've got a crossing here, and this is only allows trains to go across or up and down. You can't do both. All right, so that's where we're up to. Okay, so the next job is to make some batteries. And I've used MaxRec Calculator to supply the batteries to the current high-tech science build. We need 1.5k batteries a minute. Now we need batteries also for accumulators to go into the satellite build. So whatever build of batteries we end up with, it needs to supply more than 1.5k. But if it's 100 times that, then it is too big. So I'm looking for something 2 to 5 times bigger than that, I guess, is a rough guess. But I sort of don't care, because the battery build will be behind an on-off switch like everything else. The important thing is that it can keep up with science and thank you, autosave. Keep up with science and accumulators. All right, how do we build batteries? Batteries require 3 inputs. They require copper and iron plates, only one of them, and 20 units of sulfuric acid. They build in 5 seconds. Okay, now the only other build we have currently which uses sulfuric acid is the blue science, the processing units. And just for comparison, okay, so this requires 20 red, 2 green, and 5 sulfuric acid in 10 seconds. So 5 in 10 seconds versus 20 in 5. So this build requires 8 times as much sulfuric acid per unit time than this one. Now for blue science, it's pretty much impossible to run out of acid. Even if the acid is killed, you can run the build for several minutes just on sulfuric acid, which is buffered up in the pipes. That's not going to be the case for the battery build. I don't know how hungry it is. So the other build which uses fluids a bit like this is plastic. So let's look at plastic as a comparison. Oh yeah, plastic is made in a chemical plant, isn't it? Let's try again then. Okay. Plastic. Okay, so that takes 20 units of petroleum every 1 second. So this takes 20 units of sulfuric acid every 5 seconds. So the petroleum build is right on the edge of what you can supply. And that one I had 8 fluid wagons unloading and each piping through 3 chem plants and then stopping. And that's a good build. So this, we could do the same thing, or we could have this feeding 6. And it partly comes down to if I can wrangle the pipes through. Or I might do a half build where we only have batteries being built above the plate rail stations. The other thing is this is all equal volumes. So 1 plate goes in and 1 battery comes out. So there isn't a compression here in terms of 5-to-1 or 10-to-1. So I guess technically this is a 2-to-1 compression, but for every 1 train of iron plates we unload and for every 1 train of copper plates we unload, we will be loading up 1 train of batteries. The stack sizes are probably different, but you get the idea. Okay, so let's look at what this build might look like. So it can take 3 prod mods because it's a chemical plant, and that's a bit sad. A 4 would be better. It means all our ratio calculations that we normally do don't quite work. Okay, and I've got a feeling we can't do close pack. So we're going to be turning this sideways because we'll be bringing in fluids from above, and we need some pipe. I've probably just trashed all my pipe a few episodes ago. All right. So something like that. And this means that we really can't pack our beacons in as tightly as we would like. So then we're also going to need to feed it plates. So something like that. We're going to have no problem with the volumes of material. Let's cap this to 2 stacks. I like capping the output chests. I forget to do it sometimes, but by capping the output chests, that's better. You prevent the entire building up massive buffers of material. It's better not to have those massive buffers if you can avoid it. Okay, so let's try beaconing this. And I've got a feeling it's going to be one of those ones with a gap. So something like that. Then these can be tight packed. Well, I think we'll have to do this and then try tiling it and see how badly it goes. Okay, so that's my first attempt. Let's take that. See how badly we've done. Okay, that does overlap. Yeah, so I think we're okay. Okay, so let's grab a bunch of stuff. Okay, so that's not too bad, is it? See, I've got some pipes in my auto trash. Right, I don't need storage chests, so let's get those pipes back. We'll need it in a minute. Am I auto trashing pipe? No, I'm not. I must be. Yeah, I am. Right. That was a shame. Right, I don't think I need any storage chests currently, so they can all hide in my trash. Alright, so this is our thing, and I've got a feeling that because we'll be bringing in wagons of fluids, we can only do 8 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and we'll have to power this up with poles. And I'm never quite sure the best place to line these up because there isn't really a right answer. Okay, and then do the same thing on the top row. Unfortunately, there isn't enough room on this designer build to fit in substations. Okay, does that actually power everything up? If it does, I'll be very happy. Have to do it with a big pole. Yep, that does power everything up. We just need a final pole out here. Okay, and we are short speed modules. I picked up 100 of them and they've just gone. Okay, so that is one strip of battery makers. So that's 8 of them. And that produces just over 1K of batteries. So remember, 1.5K was our minimum build. So if we had 3 of these, that would be 3K plus a bit. If we had 6 of these, that's 6K. That is good for now. So 6K batteries, that gives us just way more than we need to run Blue Science. Gives us way more than we need to run. Remember, Blue Science, it works out at about 3K potions. So we'd be able, with one battery build, we'd be able to run roughly a 9 or 10K megabase. So I think that's what we'll build. Okay, now the next problem, I'm going to blueprint that. And we'll give this a battery icon to really push the boat out. There we are. I find the new battery icon very pretty, but also quite hard to see. So 3 of these builds is that, and then that, and then that. So I was a bit worried that we'd need a much larger build because batteries take quite a while to make, but this just isn't going to be an issue. Okay, what we need now is a design where we can get 3 trains into the middle. and then a fluid train. Now that would be 4 trains. So I think I'm only going to make a half build. So I'll bring three trains of solids in. Well, 2 in, 1 out. And then I'll bring the fluids in over the top of the build. And let's have a look to see if we can find any similar builds on the map. Do a bit of spring cleaning while we're here. Okay, so what do we have? Fuel. This is one where we have a single rail in the middle. We bring fluids in from behind. So this is a half build and a half build. Oh, there's an issue here with power. That would have been unfortunate. Right, we'll have to fix that. Yeah, I need to move that pole over. I don't know why it's worked out like that. Let's put a map marker on. I wish there was a set of signals for things like warnings. There's obviously the icons for them. X, I've been using X for X marks the spot. Let's use a Z. Okay, so something needs doing there. Right, so this is something we could take and then modify to have 3 rails in the middle. This has 2 fluid wagons, so that's not really. This has 3 fluids and 2 fluids. 2 fluids and 2. Okay, this is plastic. So this is the monster build. This has power. This has plastic supplied from one side and petroleum supplied from one side and petroleum supplied from the other towards the middle. So this is 4 rails in and 4 rails out, and the reason it's 4 is because we've got 2 lots of fluid. I think in our build we're only going to have 1 lot of fluid. I'm going to do the half build, so it's going to look like this half without this half. Okay, what else do we have? This has 4 trains. That's for red circuits. This has 3 trains. 2 in, 1 out, and has fluids. It's even the right fluid. Well, that's very convenient. So I think we're going to take this as our template and build around it. And then I guess the first possibility for expanding our build would be to the first possibility for expanding would be to add in stuff this side and route the pipes through somehow into the other half of the build. But I doubt we'll ever need to expand. Famous last words. Alright, so let's grab a blueprint of the blue site. And I'm going to grab it from down here somewhere. I wish there was better ways to zoom. Right, so I want to start from here, I think. No. Let's start from here. I want to get that power pole. We managed to go all the way over there and up. Yeah, that's got it all. And I'm not going to delete anything this time. I'm going to plop it down and then delete off the stuff I want to delete off. And let's give this a... Right, I wish you could also selectively choose station names. I want the station names for the logistics stations. I don't want the station names for the pick up and drop off. Right, we don't have any tiles here. Yeah. Modules, entities, and let's give this a blueprint. Okay. So this overlays. And I'm very happy to start deleting all this stuff. Okay, all that can go. All this can go. And I don't know if we're going to want to have I'm not sure about having roboports at the bottom. They grow the network without covering any extra machines since we're only doing a half build. Right, it looks like I might not have any signals. Yeah, I don't have any signals. I've got plenty of chain signals, but not rails. Right, let's head over here. I'll go through signals like water. Okay, and then we can delete a lot of this. There we go. I want to delete off these roboports. I want to keep all that pumping stuff. It looks like we don't have any substations. So I need substations, I need fluid pumps, more rail, more roboports. That looks like complete overkill for roboports actually for what we're doing. You needed them on the blue because blue circuits move a lot of red circuits around. Okay, so I needed rail. I needed substations. $50 will be enough. Let's grab all of the roboports because they come in handy for things generally. I needed pumps, and we have an adequate supply here. Okay. How am I doing for straight pipes? I only got 37. Let's grab those. And for undergrounds, we are out. Okay, so it does feel like there's a lot of dead space here, but there's not really any way to get around that. Okay, I'm out of stack inserters. And red boxes. Okay, probably time to place down this blueprint. So it's the one with batteries. There we are. So I need 3 of these. Now this is the center line. The center line lines up with a rail signal. In this case, the center is annoyingly not lining up with a box. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3 of those. I'm so tempted to put another 3 down here. Right, we definitely don't need all these. Okay. I suppose I could move all these support rail lines as well. I'm not going to bother. Okay, if I delete that, I'm going to lose coverage there, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I need lots of stack inserters. lots of red boxes. And then I need to tear up the old build and start moving it across. Right. Don't need walls. I can't trash things because I don't have Logibots around to trash things for me. Right, let's just put them in the trash car. Right. Don't need walls or gates or stone or wood. I don't currently need assembly machines. Let's get rid of most of that belt. Right, so I need all the red boxes, all the inserters. Right, I'm going to tear this build up. And I'm hoping that although my inventory may become full, that I will have enough bots to carry it. Yeah. So this is one of those times when you're using your bots as extra inventory. It's kind of rude, but it does the job. Okay, let's walk through, put down everything we can. Then I'll see what I've got left in my inventory. Okay, so we need lots of beacons. I'm going to need another stack or two of productivity modules, speed. Okay, there's going to be some fiddling around here, so I'll move the train up and move into my... Nope, I'm in my building suit. Okay, let's go through fluids because they pretty much guarantee to not do any unloading of stuff. Okay, so yeah, so let's grab those and those. I think that's done. So it's just modules now. So I can put the beacons back. So I'm just checking that we do have full coverage, full 12 beacon coverage. Yeah, we do. Okay. I think I could have made this build more symmetrical by moving this in towards the middle and that towards the middle, but anyway, this will do. Okay, right, so I don't think I need these anymore. I'm going to keep one stack. Okay, I don't need chemical plants anymore. Where were they? Are they in this one? Yep. I'm okay for pipes, so I can put back my excess pipage. There we go. I've got 3 lots of stack inserters. Let's keep 1. Then prod mods. I think that's all the prod mods. Okay, they just went. Okay, so I was missing 102 speed modules. That appears to be it. Okay, so let's redo the speed on this just because. Yep, so that is a 3K battery build. And I can double it to a 6K by just flipping this around and putting it below. I would need to find a way to get these out and through, but I think we could figure that out. Move this electric pole and yeah, we can work that out if we need to. Okay, what else have I forgotten? This is the requester chest. I forgot to request it. And for now, to do that, I need to power this up. Okay, so that needs 49. Okay, I'll show you why I needed to power that up by breaking the power. Okay, so if you shift right click on a machine and then shift left click on a requester bed, sorry, shift left, shift right, that sets the request to be what this machine would consume in 30 seconds. When the power is off, there are no speed beacons. This would consume 4 plates in 30 seconds. With the power on, with all the speed beacons, 49 plates. So we now need to go through and set that, and probably the best way to do it is with a little temporary blueprint like that. The blueprint will only place where it fits. When it places, instead of putting anything down, it sets the requests. So that's a handy way to fix these kind of problems. If you run across pasting down box requirements, you tend to overwrite any constraints you've put onto your requester chests and your provider chests, and you end up doing things like overriding the limits on these boxes by accidentally copying the limit from this one over. Okay, so do we have everything done? That's 49. That's 49. That's 49. Okay, that can go. Then we've got a couple of jobs left. So I don't care about this clock. I do care about this, but this is going to be measuring batteries. Okay, so let's also pull up all of this. The blue circuits, as I said, they consume so little fluid that you just feed them however you want to feed them and everything is fine. This, you really need to be a bit more careful. It is still a small amount of fluid compared to the plastics build and certainly compared to the refinery. Right, these are all off by 1, so I'm wondering, let's see how many. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here is actually move everything on the station by 1 tile so that it lines up. Now we can't move the station itself because Rail organizes itself rather annoyingly in 2 tiles, but we can move all these pumps and things. Okay, so let's grab essentially all of that. Yep, that looks right, doesn't it? And give this a nice memorable icon, because we are now going to deconstruct all of this. And rebuild it. Oh, idiot child. Right, let's try again. There. Ah, well. Easy to fix. There we are. So that's done. So you may have seen before that these tanks have a lot of circuitry and pumps going on. This is basically pump load balancing. It load balances across all your tanks in exactly the same way which you would load balance across unloading on belts. It has to do it by setting up effectively a one-way flow system. Each tank has the unload from the train, the unload into the machinery. In addition to that, it has a pump which is emptying the tank and a pump which is filling the tank, and a fairly low capacity backbone running through the middle. Whenever the tank is more than 1/10 fuller, more full than the average tank, it turns on its emptying pump, otherwise it turns on its filling pump. It's 6 and 2 3s, whether I should have slightly different logic. So whether I should logic the emptying or the filling, and whether it should be 10% above or 10% below. Obviously you get the filling and the emptying with the 10% above and below around the right way. Depending upon whether you are trying to empty or fill the tanks. But it works in practice, even if it's not perfect, both for loading and for unloading. And it's fairly modular. So this bit of circuitry for the tank involves these 4 pipes, and the bit of the piping to link them, it doesn't involve the circuitry or the pumps for its neighbour, so you can snap them together one after the other. It basically works. Okay, so this site is hooked up. So the next thing to do is, we have items per minute for this site. What we need is stack inserters. Okay, so we need 1 copper stack insert, 1.4 copper, 1.4 iron plate. So we can do all of this with single chests, because 8 is bigger than 1. Okay. I'm going to do this with the deconstruction planner. Then we'll have to go back through and sort out all the wiring. I like these builds where you can do it all with substations. It's much simpler than doing everything with lots of poles everywhere. I know there's no UPS impact from using poles versus substations, or using more rather than fewer, but it's just much easier to keep track of things visually. Okay, there we go. So then I need to link all these boxes up. There we are. So this will be measuring what's in those boxes, and in this case I care about the batteries. Now, how do batteries stack? Do we have any? I wish there was a thing on here, as well as showing all the fuel consumption and blah blah blah, it showed the stack size. If there's any devs listening, that would be a nice thing, please. Right, how else could we find out? Back here, whoops, we've possibly ended up with some batteries in storage at some point from cleaning chests. I'm just looking in the readout here. Nope, I may have to ask the internet then. So Factorio wiki, battery. Okay, the stack size is 200. Okay, so these requester chests need to be requesting 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000 batteries. Brilliant. Whoop. Don't want to overwrite the fuel requester. That would be very sad. Okay, so we are going to set this, which means the site will turn itself back on again if the batteries fall below 8K. And we are going to reset the site at 8K times 8. We've got 8 carriages. Right, so 8 times 8 is 64. So batteries is greater than or equal to 64,000. 64K. Okay, so that's our set reset latch. It is enabled, surprisingly. Okay. There we are. So this site is now on. We need to give it a couple of logistics spots just to get the whole thing started. There we are. This here is the fuel thing, so let's name this fuel supply. Right, there should be a training coming. I think it's got stuck behind something else. Then this here is going to be logistics bots supply. There we go, that's now powered. Logistics supply. Oh, it looks like the fuel train has made it here. We're getting fuel. Wonderful. Right, so then we just need to name these stations. So this one can be battery iron plate. Let's copy that across all of these so that we just need to edit part of the name. Battery copper plate. Okay, and then this one is battery. Awesome. And this is going to be battery sulfuric acid. Yep. Right, this can go back to base construction. I am going to travel with it. And let's just double check. So this train here, the outposting train is parked nicely away. It's not blocking anything. What we're going to do now is commission the trains for this. So we're going to set up 2 trains for each material coming in. Then we're going to set up 2 trains supplying batteries to the high-tech science build. And then the high-tech science build should kick into action, which would be very cool to see. It'll be our first mass-produced science pack. So we're getting a bit of a tour of the base while we go. Along the west wall. The wall blueprint can be modified slightly so that it self-heals, self-maintains. I've not got around to that. It turned out not to be necessary in this playthrough, even in areas which were really highly contested. The biters have nibbled away at the edge, you can see, but they haven't broken through anywhere. Particularly with using artillery, it keeps the biters back. So if we head down here, we've got some damage here, which I don't deny, but you know the damage isn't taking anything out. Let's see, we've got some here, yeah. So I might lose one of these one day. If I get keen, I will do a tour around. Okay, now let's delete that. We're going to head off to the shed, to the train shed, and start putting down trains. Right, so Let's do the sulfuric acid first. Last time I did this, I put down so many trains that I ran out of nuclear fuel. Okay, so this train is going to go to sulfuric acid. Until inventory full. Then it's going to go to batteries, sulfuric acid. Inventory empty. I'm going to copy that, put it on automatic, then build a duplicate train. Set that to the same schedule, send it off. Okay. Now I'm done with fluids. That can go away. Okay. This is going to be iron plates. Iron smelting iron plates, inventory full. And then batteries, iron plates, inventory empty. Okay, copy that schedule, send it. We are out of locomotives. Okay, and we are out of fuel. That's going to be a problem. Right, I've set its schedule and sent it off. So I now need a duplicate of this with fuel. Okay, how are we doing? Set its... Right, this can get fueled up. It's got 3 of the 4 locomotives fueled, that'll be fine. It can get fueled up at the other end. Right, I am out of locomotives. And this is going to be the copper plate train. So this is going to go to copper smelting, copper plates, inventory full, then to batteries, copper plate, inventory empty. Let's copy that, send it on its way. Paste. We only have 1 locomotive powered. Oh, two powered. Send it on its way. And then finally, the most exciting pair of trains. This is going to go to batteries until the inventory is full. Then it's going to go to high-tech until the high-tech battery, until inventory empty. Copy that, send it on its way. Right, and glad I set up this shed. It's really convenient for this sort of thing. Right, set that. Jump in. And I can get rid of those trains next time I'm somewhere. Actually, let's dump some in here. Okay, I don't need that one. I've got a stack of 5 on my toolbar. Okay, so let's set this to automatic. I may have to move towards a more systematic way of making nuclear fuel. I may actually set up a dedicated nuclear fuel making site with it, which basically takes in uranium ore, does the Covarex there and then turns everything into nuclear fuel. I'll have a look at that because it would be an interesting way to go. Okay, there's there was a station here that had flashing lights on its artillery. Right, this has no artillery, but the station is closed because there's random junk in the artillery box. That's just really strange. Okay. Well, doesn't matter because that particular artillery is no longer used. It will be ripped out at some point. Between episodes, no doubt. Okay, so up we go. This is our second batteries train. And it's making its way towards the battery build. Okay, let's jump out. And I am going to manually move this battery train on. It's only partially full. It's only 370 batteries. That's not very many. But let's take it into high tech. Okay, so we have batteries and nothing has happened. There are no construction or logibots in this network. That's probably the reason. Okay, let's grab a couple from over this side. Okay. 47, that'll get us going. Wonderful. So off they go. Now, are we getting bots delivered? Yes, but bots are not being loaded because we don't have the bot loader chest. I wonder if I remember to put the bot loader chest down on the battery build. I probably didn't. No, I didn't. So we have the logistics bots ready to be loaded. Okay, there they are. You can see they're being picked up now. So this stack are being loaded. The Logi train will come along in a moment. Okay, so we had the box, but it wasn't connected. That explains it. Okay. Well, all the lights are green, and we have 136 Logibots doing this. I think we call this build done. And are high-tech science potions being made? Yes, they are. Look. Where are we? Yes, we have 20 in that box. And overall, we have 164. Okay, so that site is not running at full speed, but it is running, which is amazing. Now, we have 2 trains buffered up to empty, 2 iron plate trains. We have a copper train here, so we're waiting for one more copper train. Presumably that is at the copper smelt site. Let's find out. Let's ask the map. Yeah, it is, and it's on the way. And here are our new logistics bots. So it'll buffer these up until there's more than 50 available. Logibots are cheap in the grand scheme of things. They're a one-time cost. There you are. So this is all buffered up. We've got two trains of plates for both colours coming in. We have 2 trains for loading up. And we have an old pipe left over from copying the blue build. Let's see if I can take that out without taking anything else. Yep, so that's it. So I'm going to call that a day. That is the battery build. If and when this ever becomes an issue, we will plop down 3 more builds this side with the drone ports, and we will finagle these pipes through the gap, and everything will be fine again. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching. That's actually worked out reasonably neatly and tidily for once. Next time, I'm not sure what we'll be doing. I've got a feeling that the next highest resource use is actually the stone for making the bricks, for making the furnaces. And I'm in 2 minds about whether to have a separate brick smelter and furnace making site, or to have the one site. I think because you turn stone into brick and then brick into furnaces, it makes sense to smelt on site. Bricks are only used for furnaces, so it's not like I need to send that resource to multiple places. So I think that's what I might do. But anyway, we are here with a working site, and it's just turned itself off for reasons I do not understand. Presumably because there are no longer any requests. I have no idea. So this has only got 12k cargo. Anyway, I will debug this offline. It's no point doing it while you're watching. Thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We will be doing more exciting Megabase rail builds next time. Until then, have fun.